Brigitte Macron. To the public, she's the refined and elegant First Lady of France, admired for her fashion, her poise, and her love story with President Emmanuel Macron. Their romance is often described as a fairy tale, a brilliant young student and his teacher, bound by a love that defied age, scandal, and tradition. To many, it's an inspiring story of two people who refuse to let society dictate their choices. But behind this polished image, behind the glamour of the Élysée Palace, lies a storm of rumors and suspicions, a storm that has grown louder with every passing year. Because the real question being whispered in France, and now across the world, isn't about her wardrobe or her marriage. It's about her very identity. What began as quiet whispers in local circles has now spread like wildfire, fueled by best-selling books, viral videos, and international lawsuits. Commentators, journalists, and political insiders are asking, is Brigitte Macron truly who she claims to be? Or is the truth something far stranger? The official biography appears straightforward. Brigitte Marie-Claude Trogneau, born in 1953 in the city of Amiens, the youngest child of a wealthy chocolatier family. She grew up in comfort, became a teacher of literature and drama, married a banker, and raised 3 children. But then, in her late 30s, she met a boy who would change her life forever, a gifted teenager named Emmanuel Macron. He was just 15 years old when their bond began. She was nearly 40. The affair shocked their small community. Years later, after Brigitte divorced her husband, she married Emmanuel Macron in 2007. To the public, it became a story of forbidden love that endured, unusual, yes, but romantic nonetheless. That's the version France has been told. But when Emmanuel Macron's political star began to rise, journalists began digging deeper into Brigitte's past. And what they found was not the confirmation of a love story, but a series of black holes in her biography. Entire periods of her life simply seemed to vanish. There were no casual photographs of her as a child. No high school snapshots. Few, if any, candid memories from her early life as a young mother. Reporters tried to piece together her history, but instead described it as a total blackout. A life that, for decades, left no trace. And then, the attention shifted to her brother, Jean-Michel Trogneau. The Trogneau family is well known in Amiens. Their chocolate shops are famous. The other siblings are public and easy to trace. But Jean-Michel? Practically invisible. Beyond those rare appearances, there are no interviews, no press photos, no public record. And when people compared the men introduced as Jean-Michel to old family photographs, doubts grew even louder. Because the only childhood photo ever released of the Trogneau siblings included a boy labeled as Jean-Michel. But that boy, with delicate features and striking resemblance, looked far more like the woman now known as Brigitte Macron. And that raised a shocking question. Could it be possible that Jean-Michel and Brigitte had somehow swapped identities? One journalist who dared to pursue this line of investigation was Xavier Possard. During Emmanuel Macron's 2017 presidential campaign, when mainstream media painted the couple as a modern fairy tale, Possard began cataloging inconsistencies. He argued that Macron wasn't 15 when the relationship began, but 14. That Brigitte wasn't 36, as early press claimed, but nearly 40. He suggested that what the world was calling romance was in fact something far more disturbing, grooming. They found contradictions, omissions, and unexplained gaps. In 2021, Natasha Ray went public with a marathon interview, openly accusing Brigitte Macron of being her own brother in disguise. The claims sent shockwaves through French media. Courts quickly stepped in, calling it defamation. But the questions did not disappear. In 2025, Xavier Possard released his book Becoming Brigitte. It was self-published, but it exploded onto bestseller lists in France. His central claim was bold: the woman we know as Brigitte Macron was actually Jean-Michel Trogneau, and the real Brigitte had somehow disappeared from history. The book didn't just challenge an identity. It suggested a cover-up, a network of silence and lies buried deep within one of France's most powerful families. To Possard, this was not a love story, but a political masquerade. The controversy might have remained a French curiosity, but then it crossed the Atlantic. American commentator Candace Owens picked up Possard's research and gave it a megaphone. In 2024, she launched her Becoming Brigitte video series. With millions of views, she broke the theory into dramatic segments. She pointed to the missing childhood photos, the ghostly brother, and even suggested that the Macron family's legal battles were evidence of guilt. The series went viral. It wasn't just France anymore, now the entire world was watching. Owens claimed she was contacted by powerful figures, even suggesting Donald Trump had personally weighed in after Macron sought help. Whether true or not, the story had become more than gossip. It was a geopolitical scandal. By 2025, the Macrons had had enough. They filed a sweeping 22-count defamation lawsuit against Owens in the United States, while simultaneously fighting cases in French courts against Ray and others. To the Macrons, this was about defending truth and dignity. To Owens, the lawsuit was proof she had struck a nerve, that she was, in her words, over the target. The battles raged in courtrooms from Paris to Delaware, while online, the fire only grew hotter. Comment sections, conspiracy forums, and social media turned the Macron marriage into one of the internet's favorite battlegrounds. But strip away the noise, and what remains are the haunting questions. Why are there so few photos of Brigitte before her 30s? Why has Jean-Michel Trogneau lived his life in the shadows, appearing only when politics demanded it? If Brigitte's 3 children aren't biologically hers, as some claim, then who are they, and how do they connect to Emmanuel Macron? And the most chilling of all, if there truly was an identity swap, what happened to the real Brigitte Trogneau? For the Macrons, this fight is about family and honor. For Posard, it's about exposing what others refuse to say. For Candace Owens, it's about free speech and the belief that hidden truths must come to light. But for the rest of us, it's a cautionary tale about how fragile truth can be in the age of viral media, where rumors spread faster than facts, and where conspiracy theories can become global headlines. So what do you believe? Is Brigitte Macron exactly who she says she is? Or is there a darker story lurking in the shadows of Amiens, a story powerful people don't want the world to uncover? If you've stayed with me until the end, share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because we'll continue to investigate the scandals, conspiracies, and mysteries the mainstream doesn't want you asking about.